someone's face.
Okay.
Have you ever seen The Vicar of Dibley?
Love that.
Okay, I've got them all on. And that's where the bodacious boobs came from. Yes, Bob, what is it? A Bob haircut and bodacious boobs or something?
Yes. I like looking smart.
Well, get rid of them. We want to see your little brown eyes.
Okay. So have you started recording?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So did you get the bodacious boob thing?
Poor Greg. Oh, God.
Oh, God, I forgot about it.
I can't laugh and keep this together, girls.
Okay, so here I am with Meg Hawkey of Crabapple Hill Designs. Studio. Oh, and so the reason you have studio is because you have studio time for people that come.
No, the reason I have studio is because when I went in to get my business license, I was standing there with my husband and I said Crabapple Hill and he said studio and they wrote it down.
Oh, so it's a spontaneous thing.
Yeah, and I didn't want to argue about it. So
how many years have you been doing?
15 years.
15 years.
15 years this year.
In this area, Benton City, Washington. Okay, and first pattern. What was your first pattern?
It was actually 5 patterns.
Oh, of course.
It was, well, yeah.
Right from the beginning.
And overdoer with everything. It was, yeah, I said if I couldn't get into rug hooking, because if I did, I'd end up with a flock of sheep. Just think it through. That's me. That's my personality.
I get that. I totally get that.
Jeez, totally forgot the question.
So the first 5?
The first 5 patterns, they were all hearts. It was the heart of the garden, the heart of summer, spring, fall, winter.
And are those still available?
No.
Oh darn, because they sound wonderful.
They're long gone, but I've been thinking about bringing some things back.
Yeah, some things for us new to the embroidery world. Yeah. You know, it'd be nice to have those things
again. They're more primitive-y though.
I like primitive. I'm a primitive girl.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, it's fun. So when did you start having workshops and retreats?
I want to say it was 2008.
And it started with 1 or 2 or?
We started
with 5.
Yes, it's seasonal. It's like, we should do this seasonally.
So you started with 4 then?
4.
And now it's evolved to 8.
Yes.
And
we had too many people wanting to get in. We just couldn't handle everybody, so we built the new building so that we could have more people. And then realized we also needed to up the number of retreats.
Wow. It's really amazing because now this is day 2 for us, and I have been thoroughly enjoying myself. I've done coloring, which I didn't read the directions with the first pattern I got here, so I embroidered, and now I have to go back and color, which I'm not sure I'm going to do.
I think it'll
but
work.
The coloring has opened a whole new vista for us.
A different dimension.
It's just, we're thinking about things like we could take our grandchildren's drawings and embroider them, but there is a technique to that coloring.
There is if you want a certain look.
If you want certain, and that's that blended, soft
watercolory painted.
As opposed to what I was doing yesterday, was going up and down. And
more of a little kid.
I was corrected. Mine didn't turn out so good. So I went home last night and I retraced a new design, Crabapple Hill pattern, and then I colored it, and it turned out so much better. It turned out so much better with just those little tips. And I noticed that you spend a lot of time in these workshops going from table to table and spending a little time so everybody gets their piece of Meg and show them the poor things. They love it. And this is a whole family affair, it seems like. You have
not on an everyday basis, but during the retreats, yes.
Your son is cooking, correct?
Yes, and he also does all of our printing. We print our own stuff.
So you print your own stuff.
Yes, he does all that.
So that is huge. That is huge.
Yeah.
And then you have friends that have gathered around to help you put these workshops on or these retreats on.
Yeah.
Oh, and the setting here is lovely. So do you do any livestock out there, or is it just for the view?
Like I said, I would end up with a flock of chickens and a flock of sheep, and just our cat.
Now, I want people to know that you do have to be timely in signing up for the retreats, because they are in high demand, and we actually did sign up right January 2nd, I think it was, and we were able to get all 5 people in that we wanted to sign in, but their waiting list here moves fast because you're planning a year and a half ahead, and so
Stuff happens.
Stuff happens. It's hard to sign up and not have someone have a baby or a wedding or something going on.
And you can lose an entire group of people that were coming together sometimes when one person drops out. We're not going to go without Sally,
Right.
So you could have 8 openings open up all of a sudden, and Laura, who handles all that, will be calling around, going through those lists. She goes relatively quickly, so it really pays to sign up.
Right, so don't be afraid of, oh my gosh, it's got a waiting list a year and a half out, because that does move really quickly and you have a good chance. Now, if you're like me and you got 5 people and you want to get into the retreat, you're going to get on the phone the day that registration opens.
Have all of that information for everybody.
Credit cards, all of it, addresses, credit cards, everything, and you can, I had 5 people all registered the first day it was opened. You just have to be a little proactive about it.
It's very hard when you have a group of like 5 people, but you don't have the information for one. We can't sign her up. It's just not fair to this one person over here who couldn't get in. And then you end up having to chase around trying to find this person. We need all that information right on the phone.
So now, getting back to the patterns, your favorite thread is Cosmo.
Oh yeah.
And you carry that on your website?
Yes.
And you can order, when you pick up a pattern, a Crabapple Hill pattern, you can call in and order the thread pack for that pattern.
99% of them we have the thread for. Some of the very older ones that started out with DMC floss or weeks, which is beautiful. I just don't do that anymore. Some of them got converted, but some didn't.
Okay.
So some of them are still we can't make a kit for them.
Now, do you stitch every day? Sometime during the day?
I do. But I work during the day here. There's a lot that has to go on.
Yeah.
And because we do produce everything here too. So
it's a one-stop shop.
It's a one-stop shop. So I tend to, I do what I call, I listen to TV. I enjoy TV.
I watch TV with the top of my head.
Exactly. It's like you'd be watching it and all of a sudden it's like you look up and,
what happened?
who is that guy? You have to wait for him to talk before you go there. Yeah.
Right.
So I do a lot of stitching. I stitch at night.
Yes.
And so far I've been able to.
So you get that relaxing time.
Yeah.
But it's a 24/7.
The cat draped over me.
Oh, the cat. And the cat's name?
His name is Charlie. He's a big guy. He's a Maine Coon cat, and he likes to be right here while you're stitching, which makes it kind of hard. And I also have a lot of black hairs in everything.
And sometimes you probably are stitching a hair into
I'm
a
telling
project.
you. Yeah. We have a lot of, he usually is out here, but he comes in with us at night, but he's usually in the office, and we have lint rollers everywhere trying to erase Charlie from everything.
Which you can't do with a big cat. So besides your son, what other family members are involved in that? Anybody stitching actually?
No.
Oh, this is my issue. Thank God I ended up with a daughter-in-law that wants to quilt.
Yeah,
because, and now whenever I shop or make something, I'm doing it. I'm saying, oh, I'm buying this for my girlfriends when I die. They get it in the will.
Yeah. I have no one who would want it. My son appreciates the quilts and things. He knows what went into them. And he actually has some of my quilts in his house that are hanging. He takes care of them. They don't end up like underneath a car or a dog thing. So that's good. But I have no one to give my stuff to, like a daughter-in-law who really likes it.
Mom! I'm up for adoption. I'm an orphan. I'm up for adoption. we can't stop.
I wish I could, my son never has been with any girl who's interested in embroidery.
Okay, now that should be a criteria.
It should be a question of when they walk in.
I know, if there's no threads hanging off of them. Like my husband says, oh, we know what you've been doing, there's threads and fabric all over.
Yeah.
That's the first sign, huh?
One of the witches in one of my new patterns, doing the show and tell quilt, has threads hanging off her pants.
I like the one that didn't shave her legs.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's one of us too.
I know. We won't have been down there to do that, we want to go sew.
If you're wearing sandals, just shave your feet.
Well, we should wrap this up.
Okay.
I so appreciate you spending the time talking to us. And the next retreat is?
I think it's a fall retreat, so I believe it's in September.
And each seasonal one has a different...
Oh yeah, they're all different. I like to keep my classes different, and I like to keep when I teach out, and I like to keep all the retreats. We have the same project for both summer, both fall, both winter, but if you were to come to one of each, you'd never see the same thing, or the projects.
And we have not only been stitching, we today made fairy gardens, and there's bags to be made. I made a scissor fob out of beads. I mean, you're not going to either go hungry or be bored or not be doing, you know, if you want to get up and stretch, it's beautiful here. Yeah, it's just, and we have
wineries and stuff all over here.
Yeah, well, maybe not wine in the morning before stitching, but certainly by the end of the day it's okay. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thanks.